Hi, this is Laura Duksta, and this is a response to Tamaras' question, a little bit of a response at least. She asked me how I self-published my book and if I had any tips for her getting started. So I'm at least going to get you started here. For those of you that don't know, I self-published my first book in December of 2001 called I Love You More, and we sold 180,000 copies of it. And now, let's see, that's what that version looked like. And now we recently sold it to Source Books, based out of Chicago. And we made a few changes. It's going to be available everywhere come October 1st, but that's a whole other video. So I'm going to get Tamaras started right now on this venture and journey. Just a little background on me is I graduated from college and found myself bartending for 7 years in South Beach with no good idea of what I was going to do with my life. And then I had an idea for a book. And I had never considered being an author or aspired to be an author, but it was just one of those ideas that pulled at my heart and my mind continually. Just one of those things that I knew that there was no way that I couldn't do it. So I feel like I was led on the path of where I needed to go to get the job done. So one of those things was getting on a call with a gentleman who calls himself the book coach, and he told me that I needed to self-publish. He said, you have a great idea, you have all this passion, and you've got an endorsement from Mark Victor Hansen. Why don't you self-publish your book? You'll need $10,000. And I said, well, if you didn't hear me correctly, I'm a bartender, or I might have even been an unemployed bartender at the time. And I said, I don't have $10,000. He's like, well, you need to find it, and you need to self-publish your book. And I actually ended up finding the money that afternoon, which was a miracle in itself. Okay, so let me keep with this part of the story first. So I got the money, $10,000. My mother, actually, she was a kindergarten teacher, and I didn't know that she had incredible credit. So she said if there was a way that we could figure out how to use her credit cards to print the books, that we could go ahead and do that. And so that's what we did. And this gentleman also said that I need to get 2 books. One was Dan Pointer's The Self-Publishing Manual, and I will write that in here. And the other was John Kramer's 1001 Ways to Market Your Book. So both of those helped tremendously. They've also got websites, danpointer.com, Poynter, and bookmarketing.com, or I'll double check on that, but you can search John Kramer as well, which is Kremer. And those books, the self-publishing manual walks you step by step through the process of what you need to do and when you should be doing it to get your book done. What I tell a lot of people is that writing your book is the easiest part. I'm sorry, but it's really like 10% of the whole process if you're looking at having a bestseller. So, or really getting it out there in the world. The biggest part of your whole book and getting it out into the world and getting your message out there is really the marketing, which comes afterwards. And self-publishing is really pretty easy. There's some things that you really need to do right, and there's some things that you need to avoid, but to make sure that your book looks as professional as possible. But it's a fairly simple process, and it does take a little bit of capital. So I think getting those 2 books is an awesome start. Like I said, the Self-Publishing Manual and 1001 Ways to Market Your Book. And really, the whole time, if you haven't started writing your book, you really want to be focusing on who your market is and how you're going to reach them. And sometimes you write in a way that keeps your audience in mind. So like, who your audience is and how you're going to reach them. So that's a good start. You also asked if I had any other products available that share about this, and I do. I have this little nifty CD that I made, which is about an hour's worth of me just sharing tips and things that we did that helped launch our book into the mega success that it is. So anyways, I'm gonna let this be the end of this video, but I will record a little bit more as we go along. Take care.